What's up, y'all? So, real quick, I just came across the video of Dr. Umar. Okay? And I came across this video on Abednego Lufield's YouTube channel. Where Dr. Umar was doing this interview. I don't know who he was doing it with. But he was basically telling a story of a spiritual experience that he had. And how he thought that it was demons.
True story. I started crying, but the tears didn't feel like mine. I got up and walked out the dungeon because it kind of caught me off guard, right? I said, whoa, that was a little different. What was that? I go back in, I finish my libation. I don't think nothing of it. I get back to my hotel room, same night. Sun is still up. It's about 2 hours from sunset. I call my mother, let her know I'm good. I go back to my hotel room. I don't have a roommate. I sit down on my bed. Sun's still up. All of a sudden, I start hearing chains, whips, people crying, screaming, animals. My room starts spinning. Mind you, I'm wide awake. This is not a dream. I don't smoke. I'm not high. I'm a psychologist. I'm clearly awake. I thought it was going to stop. Now the sun down, right? It's still going on. I'm scared to get up and walk out. Something might grab me. So then all of a sudden, something starts tapping me in my third eye like this, real hard, but not hard enough to hurt me, but the power that I'm showing you here, right? But there's nobody in the room with me, but there's a finger tapping my third eye. Now I know it was opening up my third eye so I can receive the wisdom from my ancestors. I know that now. I didn't know that then, because back then I'm thinking like a Muslim. I'm not knowing nothing about no African consciousness. So then I try to go to sleep. I said, let me sleep this off because I'm too scared to do anything else. I felt two hands roll me over to the other side of the bed. Now, mind you, I'm almost 300 pounds. Roll me back to the other side of the bed. Roll me back. I'm like, oh, shit. Did I bring a demon back? So at about 4 o'clock in the morning, I figured it out. I said, this is the ancestors. I just knew it. So I asked them, could y'all let me sleep now? Because I'm scared. Y'all been with me for like 7-8 hours. I need to sleep. So they left. The next day, I walk out through the village, and we are in a rural section of Senegal. So it's like calves and donkeys and chickens walking all around, right? So I'm talking to the Senegalese brothers, telling them what happened last night. They said, don't worry about that. A lot of you American Africans, when y'all come home, y'all have that experience because it's your ancestors tapping back into you.
The way he was explaining it, I'm like, sounds kind of familiar. Because y'all know I came out with my story and my testimony about 3-4 years ago. But let me say this real quick, right? Because I'm going to go over it. I want to actually see the whole interview so I can see exactly what he was saying. But in a nutshell, he did say, he was like, oh my God, are these demons? Then he turned around and said he figured out that it was his ancestors throwing him a party. I think he was somewhere in Africa or something like that. He said he found out that it was his ancestors throwing him a party. But the way he was explaining it, let me tell y'all something. I don't want my ancestors throwing me no party like that. Okay? To the point to where you're afraid and you're scared, like the ancestors didn't let you know that it was them. I'm sorry. I'm only, this video is for my Christian folk only, okay? This not for you new age, black power, African spirituality people, okay? So don't get all of y'all feelings because this video ain't even for y'all. Y'all can just skip past it, okay? The ancestors did not let him know because he said he felt a finger tapping him on his third eye like this. This is what he said. He felt it tapping. He said he was not asleep. It was not a dream. He was fully wide awake. And I have had spiritual experiences where I was fully wide awake and was not asleep. You see what I'm saying? So, I just find it kind of funny to me that before I came out with my testimony and my story about 4 years ago, nobody was really talking about demons, okay? Or the second heaven, or spiritual warfare on certain areas of YouTube. I'll say that, okay? Because there's tons of people with tons of stories and tons of testimonies. The sector and the part of YouTube where I'm from, nobody was talking about that shit. Ever. Never. You never heard nobody talking about spiritual warfare in the aspect that I have, that Dr. Umar has. You know, it's becoming more and more popular now. Like when I first came out and started talking about it, it wasn't as popular, but I just found it kind of ironic how more and more people is having these spiritual warfare experiences. Okay? And going through spiritual warfare is something that we go through every day. Some spiritual warfare experiences are more intense than others. Some are very mild. Okay? And then you got some that are just, you know, not so mild. Just a step under mild. Not so bad. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, everyone has had a spiritual warfare experience. Even if you didn't know you have had one, you've had one. Okay? I just find it kind of ironic how now everybody is coming out talking about demons now. But when I was coming out talking about coming out of the occult and coming out of esoteric knowledge, and my experience that I had, everybody, you know, it was frowned upon for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Coming from a spirituality where people do necromancy, read tarot cards, oracle cards, palm reading, burn sage, burn dragon's blood, Palo Santos, coming from that type of spirituality, when I came out and told my experiences leaving the occult, oh, that didn't happen, you're crazy, you need to go see a psychiatrist. But all these people talk to dead people though. All these people practice necromancy though. All these people have, it was just crazy to me, and I just couldn't even do nothing but just fall back, because I knew at one point in time, you know, you was gonna hear a story coming from somebody else, whether y'all call it ancestors or whatever the hell you call it. I don't never want no ancestors throwing no party for me like that and not letting me know your ancestors scaring the hell out of you like that. That's demonic, boy. That is demonic. Jesus Christ and his archangels don't do no stuff like that. Okay? You know the presence of God when you feel the presence of God, and it's not a fear. It's not a feeling of being scared. No, you're playing around with demons. But he called it ancestors though. So I just want everybody to know that if you have had a spiritual experience that you feel like that you may not want to talk about because of how people is going to look at you, okay, you're afraid of people gonna call you crazy or say that you need a psychiatrist or say all this weird shit, say you need to be put on medication, this is a safe space to do that. This is a safe space to do that, because I guarantee you this, a lot of people have had spiritual attacks and have had spiritual warfare, bad spiritual warfare experiences. Okay? I guaranteed you that they are afraid to come out and talk about it because they are afraid of what people are going to think and say about them. Okay? That's why it's easy for people to sit back and troll on the internet. Okay? Knowing damn well they're going through the same shit. Know somebody that went through the same shit. You see what I'm saying? And they just scared. They scared to come out and talk about it because they afraid of what people, they're afraid of the criticism. Well, if y'all read y'all Bible, y'all will already know that this stuff is written. It's written. And you would know what type of doors to not go through and what type of doors to not open. But everybody's so African. Everybody going back to their roots. You see what I'm saying? Everybody is a spiritual guru. But y'all scared when shit get real. And you scared to come out and talk about this shit. Like, y'all gotta stop playing. Y'all gotta really stop playing. Boy, Dr. Umar ass was getting his big 300-pound ass tossed around by goddamn demons. But he said it was the ancestors though. The ones that know. Period. Talking about some, he was afraid, he was scared of your ancestors. Nah, them was demons, my love. Them was demons, because God did not give us, he did not give you a spirit of fear. He did not give you the spirit of fear. Now, coming from a personal standpoint, okay, this is from my personal experience. I have felt the spirit of God, and I have felt the experience. I have felt the spirit of God, and I have felt the spirit of pure evilness, demonic, familiar spirits, demonic spirits, demons. I have felt both. So I know the difference. So saying that you was afraid, that definitely wasn't no ancestors. Sorry. I'm gonna just have to tell you the truth. Them was demons. That's just what scripture said. And don't get mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger. Take it up with God. That's what the scripture said. Okay. But yeah, it's just a lot going on. It's a hell of a lot going on. They out here speeding and acting crazy in this storm. They going right on in here. I need to get over. They need to let me over.